Welcome to our Good News Review, and it's a new year, so Happy New Year to everybody. And this is the January edition, of course, and we've got some encouraging and uplifting stories where people find hope and a new start in life, and what could be more appropriate at the beginning of this new year. And I'm here with my friend Mark Perkins. So Mark, over to you for our first story.
Thank you, Colin. Hey, everybody loves music, and this edition is brim full of stories on musicians. There's an article on Bob Marley, there's an X Factor legend, there's Craig David, and there's one in the very smack middle of this edition of the Good News of Philippa Hanna. She's a singer from Sheffield. Now, the headlines are this. This is an act that has performed with, has worked with people like Lionel Richie, Leona Lewis, Little Mix, Wet, Wet, Wet. But behind the headlines, Philippa was a teenager who was devastated by school bullying, depression, anxiety, and she was told that her voice wasn't good enough. She faced rejection by various record labels. That's Philippa as a teenager. She's now 40 years old. Now, in between those teen years and her 40-year-old life, something happened that transformed her. At age 21, she's hanging out with some musicians who are also Christians. They invite her to this worship gig. She reluctantly goes. She's not really into it. But it's at that gig at the age of 21 that she meets Jesus, and there's a transformation that takes place in her life. She now has peace. She now has discovered love, and she likes to share that love through her concerts, through her gigs. And we also want to encourage you to read her story. Perhaps you will discover the love that you're seeking, the peace that you're seeking, the peace from devastation, from bullying, from rejection, perhaps that you've experienced in your life. Get this month's edition, read the story of Philippa Hanna, and just consider Jesus Christ for yourself. Colin, over to you.
Thanks, Mark. Yeah, I'm looking at the front page article this month, and it's a very interesting story. A contrast between somebody who was a racist, someone who hated minorities and Jewish people, to somebody who go out and show love and show compassion and a completely changed person. It's amazing story. He's written a book, actually. His name's Joseph Pearce, and it's called My Journey from Racial Hatred to Love. This man, Joseph Pearce, was a National Front member, and through his activities, he got put in prison for a couple of years. And while he was in prison, interestingly enough, he got a chance to read, and he read lots of books. And he started reading an author called G.K. Chesterton, his political writings. And this man, Chesterton, was also a Christian. So he got into reading some of his Christian writings, some of the arguments that he put forward for the Christian faith. And through that, he got on to other Christian writings and started to read about another way of being, another way of living. And he came across so much love and care and hope. And a different way of thinking. And then he was in touch with some of his friends outside in the National Front, and all he found among them was arguments, hate, rivalry, and he contrasted that with what he found in this Christian writing. And he wanted to change. He became a different person, started going to church, didn't do it without any problems. He had lots of problems as well. But over a period of time, there's a journey going on in all of us, and he came through some of his problems and now has got a real faith in Christ, and his life has completely turned around. It's an amazing story. Do get a chance to read it. Look on the website or buy a copy. Mark, back to you.
So this month edition, it's not only brim full of music or musicians. There's the sports. There's an excellent article on science. There's a new series, a quick quiz to challenge your brain this year. Also a new series. Colin was too shy to mention his own article, a new series on loss that is very, very good, very insightful. So get this month's edition. There's a wide range of stories that can challenge you, that can encourage you, that can cause you to ponder and consider Jesus Christ and the new life he offers. Happy New Year.